All right, looks like today we are going to get political with Democracy 3, which I thought I'd try doing a video for because, I don't know, it's a fun game. I usually end up getting assassinated, but let's just go for it and be Canada. Canada became a self-governing dominion in 1867 while retaining ties to the British Crown. The government is a parliamentary democracy and a constitutional monarchy with Queen Elizabeth II as the head of state. This country is officially bilingual and multicultural, as we all know. The economy is one of the largest in the world, relying particularly on its rich natural resources. Not so much anymore, since the price of oil has gone down to like $40 a barrel, and in order for the taller sands to actually break even, it has to be $50 a barrel. So all those resources are now pretty much pointless. And yada yada yada. Let's go. We are the opposition party. Let's just make it realistic. The conservatives. Oh no, that's our. You know, we are going to be the Reformed Cooperative Commonwealth Federation, who have risen from the ashes of the NDP after Tom Mulcair ruined it all and gone back to the roots and the Regina Manifesto. The opposition party, the conservatives. Term lengths, 5 years. No limit. Well, that's accurate. We don't have a limit. Monarchy, yes. Compulsory voting, no. Earthquakes, yeah, I guess in BC, where I live. We don't get hurricanes, though. Difficult. Let's just keep all that there. Alright, so we're just gained power as the Reformed Cooperative Commonwealth Federation, which is a democratic socialist party that eventually turned into the New Democrats, and then they watered down their ideology until it just ended up being the liberals. Looks like our GDP is kind of crap. The lives of 330 or 33 million citizens are now in your hands. As you will imagine, there are a number of situations and concerns that you will need to deal with as soon as possible while keeping an eye on long-term yada yada yada. Looks like health is a bit of an issue. Okay, I haven't played this for a while. Let's just take a look at our demographics first. Where is that? I don't remember. Here we go. All right, voter types. Who are we popular with and who aren't we? We are popular with socialists, which is probably pretty accurate. Let's see how 23% capitalist. Okay. Let's get things going. Religious people hate us. I can live with that. Expenditures, deficit 10 billion. Debt. Okay. All right, now we'll take a look at expenditures. Looks like the state health service is one of the biggest ones, followed by state pensions, which I want to maintain at those levels. Where's military spending? Don't really want to... Where is it on the chart? Military spending. Okay, that might lower military spending slightly and keep it like that just to lessen the deficit. I would like to eventually start raising the state housing program, debt interest, road building. I like roads, child benefits. That's good. Alcohol. Yeah, okay. Income tax, of course, one of the big ones was government borrowing, sales tax. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Okay, since it seems like health is a problem, we are going to raise the state health service to, let's say, 14 billion a quarter. Not a big raise, but hopefully it'll... No, let's go to 15. Go to 15 billion on state health. And hopefully that'll help, because it does seem like there are some contagions. So we will apply that. That gives us, we got 5 political capital left. Can we do anything else? Micro generation grants, capital gains, income tax, tobacco tax. I'll leave that where it is. Petrol tax, I don't want to screw over everybody. Corporation tax. There we go. Oh, we can't raise that. I guess we'll just go on to the next. Okay, here's a public smoking ban. There are a number of suspected links between smoking and poor health pressure groups. You know, I actually watched an episode of a show called Bullshit, which kind of debunked this whole thing. Pretty much saying that the initial report that everyone cites for secondhand smoking was pretty much overturned by a court. I mean, I'm sure it's not great smoking in buildings and stuff. I don't expect that to be acceptable. However, if this is just everywhere, I'm going to leave the law unchanged. I guess there's a little libertarian in me after all. Economic forecast. Debt is rising. Of course, we really need to do something about income. I wasn't finished there. Cabinet report. You got the loyalty of your ministers can be best described as loyal. That's good. Budget report. Looked at that. Okay, we got 28 political capital. Obesity seems to be an issue. As does doctor strike. Oh, doctor strike. That's not good. Hopefully my raising the budget for the health services will help that a bit. Alright, it seems like productivity is one thing that's contributing to our losses in GDP. I think we will raise technology grants to hopefully jumpstart that a bit. That'll cost 6 political capital. Also have rail strikes, rail subsidies. I honestly don't think rail is really that important. I mean, unless it's intercity, or not intercity, but in the city. Intercity isn't really that big of an issue, I wouldn't think. So I'm not going to do anything there. What does that all affect? Unemployment, GDP, labor. Oh, let's take a look at labor laws. Labor laws are basically restrictions. Okay. I will, you know what? I don't know. I can't afford that. Yes, I know. What I'm going to do in order to hopefully help along the health effects, I'm going to raise the science funding, which will cost 6 political capital. Does look like we do have lower unemployment between the last session and this one, so that's always a good thing. I would like to get the GDP back on the right track. Budget isn't really looking great though. You really need to get that income up and that debt going down, or at least staying at the same level for now. And you know what? Given my ideology, you know who's I'm gonna have to wait till the next term though. But when that comes around, corporations, you're getting it right in the butt. Children's food. A law has been proposed to regulate the fat content and nutritional value of food sold to children, including food sold in restaurants and, of course, food served in schools. This is likely to cost for the food retailers. Obesity is a major problem. I don't know. I just... I think that's really the responsibility of the parents. And so... I'm gonna leave that unchanged. That just seems like common sense, and I don't think people should be forced to have certain things if they don't want to. It's their lives. They can do what they wish with it. Poll reports. Looks like our popularity is increasing, which is good. Changes. Crime is down. Unemployment is down. Alcohol consumption down. GDP also down. Equality up. Overall, I'm quite happy with that. And we're going further and further left, which is good. Corporations, where are you? You're about to get taxed to the boot. What? Okay, where are they? There you are. To say hello to lots of taxes. 30, 35. There we go. Suck it, corpse. Watch as I get assassinated by some free market conspiracy globalist people. Okay, that didn't cost much. We still got 20 political points, or political capital. Health does seem... Was health going down? Was health becoming better? Policies, changes, private healthcare. Well, at least that stuff isn't going down. I'm going to take a look at the focus groups. What? Approval 55%. What doesn't he like? Oh, I guess he's a motorist. He does like middle income. You know, I would like to increase my popularity with middle income. So, you know what? In order to, I know this is probably just offsets the increase in the corporation tax, but with that, I will decrease income tax to try and help people with a middle income, which will hopefully offset that. I'm also going to increase the micro generation grants, which gives citizens the help to subsidize the cost of micro energy generation systems such as solar panels and wind turbines. However, I am going to have to be careful because I'm going to have to start cutting some things in the budget in order to offset all this new spending. But spending is all right. I think, my limit for the deficit is going to be 20,000. Anything below 20,000 we can deal with. Once it gets around 20,000, then we're going to have to start doing some interesting things. I'm going to go to the next. Kind of got to go to the bathroom. GDP down again. Religious commendation. Don't care. Credit rating downgraded. Economic forecast. Looks like the global economy is going to the shit. I already looked at that. Oh, I really gotta go, but I want to look at this first. Looks like... Ow. Our popularity is going to... I gotta go right now. Alright, well, I've completed that task. Now, at this one I thought I would go over, I consider myself a socialist, and I do find it is an ideology that is extremely misunderstood. There's socialist. There's the term democratic socialist. I don't really like the term democratic socialist because if it's not democratic, it's not socialism. That's the key. That's the basic definition, is people have the control democratically over both the government making policies, laws, and the means of production. Now, I don't believe in some must have a revolution and have some kind of crazy big Soviet. Obviously, those attempts were massive failures, and examples like the Soviet Union, they're not Soviet Union, China, they're not socialist countries, they're not communist countries. The most accurate term to describe them throughout most of its life, the Soviet Union in particular, is a bureaucratic collectivist system where you have a bureaucratic organization that isn't really accountable to the people, that basically controls everything. Of course, then you have Stalin, which was just outright authoritarianism. But I think that the main thing is making businesses, companies, corporations accountable to the people that work for them. And I think the easiest way to do that is through taxes. I mean, let's say you have incentive programs, if companies adopt responsible business practices, uh, policies that make them accountable for the people that work for them, then they get tax breaks. Those who don't want to follow those models, then they have to pay higher tax to compensate for what the workers for those companies have to go through, low wages, etc. And that tax money goes to compensate those workers for those companies, and hopefully eventually everybody will fall in line. Now that's a really, quite oversimplification, but it's the basic idea that I think is the best way to implement such a system in a liberal democracy. And there have been examples of socialist parties being elected in legitimate elections, such as in Chile, the government of Salvador Allende, who was then overthrown by a CIA orchestrated coup involving a General Augusto Pinochet, who eventually took over and killed and tortured tens of thousands of people with complete support from the Richard Nixon administration. So, and before the economy completely tanked when Salvador Allende went in. Pinochet went in because they adopted a policy of, well, now I have to go into Friedmanite and shock and awe and that kind of thing. But essentially, the advisors to Augusto Pinochet implemented a rather radical form of capitalism known as neoliberalism in its most extreme form. And guess what? The economy tanked. During the administration of Salvador Allende, the economy was improving with many socialist policies. So, man, I can't believe I just went into a big rant like that in a game. Anyways, back to the game. But just a side note, it's not about people who expect things for doing nothing. I believe everybody has something that nobody just wants to sit around and do nothing. Everybody has a passion or a love that can be used to improve the economy, the culture, etc. Nobody actually wants to do nothing. And for the few people who actually do just want to do absolutely nothing, then I don't really have a problem with that. I mean, they're not going to be living an amazing life. They're not going to be given a free ride, but if they want to do that, that's their choice. But so many people make it about it, people who are entitled and think they deserve more. And no, it's just all it is. Socialism, it's about accountability to the government and to the people they work for. Or if we want to go all Marxist, the means of production. Okay, now I'm done. All right, so what I've done here to try and bring the budget in is I've lowered the border controls to passport checks rather than biometric checks, which seems a little bit extreme. So that's what we are going to do. Military, hello. How much political capital do we have? We exactly 19. Well trained. I'm not going to lower it. Yeah, I think I'm going to... I don't want to mess around with the military spending. It seems pretty reasonable as it is. Citizenship tests. I'm not going to change that. Alright, in the next quarter, things seem to be going as normal. We got a law to outlaw advertising of tobacco on television. I will approve that ban, because we actually do have that ban, and I think it's perfectly reasonable. Economic forecast. I would like... Just got a text. That's still going up. Expenditures... income down a bit, expenditures up a bit. I'm not going to do raising any more expenditures. We gotta start figuring out ways to shave off the budget so we can start at least get that debt at to keep it from going up, if not going down. income, we have increased corporate tax. We've increased. Actually, I think we've only increased corporate tax. I might do capital gains. Yes, we are. We are going to do capital gains. And increase that to quite a lot because I'm a heartless anti-capitalist. We're going to be pissed. I always end up getting assassinated by some capitalist group or something. Check out our ministers. Some of them are kind of crap. I might think about replacing public service. That's one we need. I need somebody who's going to be good. He has low experience. So I may replace him. Tax, fine. I'll just leave him there. Ernest. Good old Ernest. Well, I think I've done enough of this, so I think I'll leave it at that. So, until next time, in the game of government, so long. Fade to black.